Hello, this is Mr. Chabry, and we're here to talk about the new information released about Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. So we recently had a direct where it basically just went over some Pokemon information. And real quick, these are the two legendaries. We'll get more into them as we go along, but I just want you to see the art. A lot of people seem to be liking the Sword legendary. It's basically a wolf wielding a sword. I think I like the Shield one better just because that looks a little bit more natural. It doesn't feel like, some animal that just found like a man-made object and took it with it. The shield's actually a part of its body, but if you like the sword one, that's all right. But anyway, there's a lot of information that was revealed. Here's some Pokemon information. I want to go ahead and look at some of the Pokemon because I feel like that was my favorite part of any new Pokemon game. It's always the new Pokemon. So we already knew about Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble, but the ones that were basically announced are Gossifleur, Eldegoss, Wooloo, Arvanite, and Dreadnought. So let's look at Gossifleur first. This is a grass-type Pokemon here, and it seems to be a pretty small Pokemon. It's the first stage of its family, and its ability is Cotton Down and Regenerator. Cotton Down is an ability that slows down the opponent. I'll have to... Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like by contact or what, but I know it slows down the opponent. So yeah, it's probably kind of like Tangling Hair if you remember that ability. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Regenerator. This might actually be like a bulkier Pokemon. And this one actually does have an evolution, which we'll look at real quick. And the evolution is Eldegoss. So Eldegoss, the little flowers poofs out into a little cotton ball. Still got little cotton seeds in its hair. And it still has, the Cotton Down and Regenerator ability. So yeah, maybe this will be more of a bulkier Pokemon, maybe. Maybe even a Utility Mon. That grass typing might actually hold it back. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Probably, but yeah. So let's go ahead and look at some new Pokemon that were also introduced. Those two are, of course, the grass ones. We got the sheep Pokemon, Wooloo, and a lot of people seem to be liking this one because it's so cute. Look at this thing. It's all fluffy and bushy. It's a sheep Pokemon, normal typing. Abilities are Fluffy and Run Away, and I feel like it's going to probably evolve. I'm pretty sure. I mean, look at that. It's got horns. I feel like they'd probably in its evolution, these horns would grow out, and it'll be yeah, maybe like a ram, maybe even a goat or something like that. But yeah, this is a pretty cute little Pokemon here. We got like just little blurbs about it. It's a very friendly and fluffy Pokemon. Very adorable. And the ones that I really are drawn to is, of course, Corviknight. A lot of people are liking this one just because how cool that looks. Look at this thing. In the game, it's described as basically the air taxi Pokemon. It'll pick you up and take you town to town if you call on it. And it's actually flying still. When I first saw it, I thought maybe it'd be a flying dark, but nope, it's flying still, which is pretty cool. There's not that many flying still types, and the ones that are there are very, very bulky. We got Skarmory, Celesteela. So this one being added to that group, this is actually a really cool Pokemon here. Abilities are Pressure and Unnerve. So some utility you could have there. Prevent the opponent from using a berry, or try to stall out their power points. And this is a huge Pokemon at 7'3". This thing is like huge. It just towers over people. So it might be a single stage evolution Pokemon, a single stage Pokemon, no evolution, or maybe it's like the final evolved form of another Pokemon that hasn't been shown yet. Kind of like Meowstic. They showed Meowstic first, and then Esper. But I think this is the final form of whatever it is. But I really like this one. I might end up having to use this one on my team. Just look at this thing. How could you not use it on your team? It's just so cool. We got some little in-game art too. Like here it is, like sitting in the city. You just see one sitting on this perch. Just walk up, ask it to fly you around. Here it just looks so huge. Look at this thing. It's so big and imposing. And we're going to look at the last Pokemon that was also announced here. That's going to be Dreadnought. This one is another one that I kind of find a lot of, you know, I really like the design of this one. It looks really cool. It's a water rock type too, so I mean, water rock Pokemon have a lot of problems, but it is pretty cool. We got Strong Jaw and Shell Armor as the abilities. I really like that. This looks to me like a offensive Pokemon. It looks like it'll be kind of slow. Look at this art; it's pretty cool looking. Yeah, but I feel like it might be a slower Pokemon just because it's a turtle. Usually the turtle Pokemon are slower. We do have Mega Blastoise that has pretty decent speed, but, you know, compared to other Pokemon, it's here. But most of the time, if you see a turtle Pokemon, a turtle-inspired Pokemon, it's going to be really slow. So yeah, those are those Pokemon that were announced. And then there's two more that I need to go over. The legendary Pokemon. So say you pick up Pokemon Sword. Pokemon Sword's legendary is called Zacian. Pokemon Shield's legendary is Zamazenta. Yeah, there's not much known about it. In the trailer, it shows them glowing as if they're about to transform. So I do feel like they're going to have another form. That seems to be what Game Freak likes to do lately. Give us legendaries that have another form. You know, I really like this. There's a lot of memes out there of, you know, basically mainly of this one here, Zacian, because there's like memes of little puppies carrying little swords around, and it's like my legendary of Pokemon Sword is ready. But yeah, I feel like I like Zamazenta a little bit better, just because I feel like the shield works better because it's a part of its body, whereas Zacian's got this where it's like some guy like made a sword and his dog ran off with a sword, you know. But yeah, those are the new Pokemon that were announced. We got some characters here too. I want to look at the gym leaders and stuff like that. So far we only have one gym leader, but I'm sure that's going to be added. This is Milo, the grass type gym leader. A lot of people are thinking this might be the first gym leader. I don't think it specified, but I feel like it might be. He uses, I mean, in the actual trailer, it shows the person battling him using a Grookey, so it might be an earlier battle. I'm pretty sure it would be then. But yeah, this is the first gym leader, the grass type. He's got the Eldegoss here, and oh, and this is another mechanic, what you're seeing right here. So whereas Pokemon X and Y had Mega Evolution, Sun and Moon had Z moves, this one has what's called Dynamax. So, real quick, where is Dynamax? It got that. Yeah, here we go. Let's go over Dynamax real quick before we continue on about the characters we've seen. So Dynamax is a new, basically the gimmick for Generation 8, where during the battle, you can transform your Pokemon basically into, I guess you could compare it to the raid bosses of Pokemon Go. I feel like this game is meant to bridge that connection and I guess make sense of the things you see in Pokemon Go, like, you know, raid bosses and stuff. And this is how they're doing it with Dynamax. So one time during your battle, you can have your Pokemon transform into a giant version of itself where it's like power is like raised and it has better defenses, I guess. It's just really stronger. Its moves do more damage and stuff like that. We haven't seen that much about it yet, but yeah, you just click this little button just like a Z move, like a Mega Evolution, and it turns into a giant version of itself, and that's pretty cool, I guess. It basically, you know, canonizes what we see with raid bosses, stuff like that. Real quick, I want to point out this thing gets double kick. A lot of people are kind of worried about that. I think Score Bunny might end up being a firefighting. It's got double kick. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to. Here's the item for Dynamaxes. You know, I guess you touch the band and it turns into the Dynamax version of Pokemon. You also have a Dynamax ball. Sometimes you can find like wild Dynamax Pokemon, and you have to have this Dynamax ball to catch them, which is kind of cool. But here we have like talking about the different move sets here. Max Strike. So Scratch becomes Max Strike. Razor Leaf, max overgrowth, growl, and taunt become max guard. So I guess it like boosts its defense, or maybe a form of protect here. Max strike is just like it's just basically a physical move that's kind of like, you know, just a normal type physical move, I guess. And max overgrowth is razor leaf. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how this plays out, just because yeah, I mean, this is something that's really new. It is the Mega Evolution Z move of Generation 8, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I want to see how it looks and everything, and I hope they do bring back Megas and Z moves, because yeah, because the icon would take that space, and it would make sense if you have to have a certain item to do a Dynamax, you know, because you don't want people using Dynamax on their Mega Evolved Pokemon, or even, you know, have a Z move on their Dynamaxed Pokemon. So I feel like to balance it out, they're going to have it where only one Pokemon can Dynamax, or maybe even you can choose to go Dynamax or use a Mega and Z move. So yeah, we're going to look at the characters real quick. Is this going to show us some of the new characters? No, it's not going to. There's my little cast. Oh, here we are. This is it. So, of course, we got the main characters here. It's going to be your character, the female character too, the male character if you're a male. So yeah, basic stuff right there. We've got Leon, who is the champion of Galar, and I like his shirt. He's got like the shield and the sword. He's got a cape with fuzzies. But yeah, this right here is basically the champion of Galar, and Hop is actually his little brother and your rival. So Hop wants to be like his older brother. He wants to be a champion someday, and you and Hop both start your journeys on the same day. So this is basically going to be the rival throughout the game. You're going to probably run into him. He'll probably help you throughout stuff. Here we have the Professor of Galar, and that's Professor Magnolia. She's an older lady, and her main thing is she studies Dynamax Pokemon. I guess like how do they become Dynamax? What energy causes this to happen? That's her main thing. And then this is her granddaughter, Sonia, or Sonia, probably Sonia. That makes more sense to me. And she is Leon's childhood friend too. So different strings connecting some of these people. Sonia, she's the granddaughter of the professor. Leon is her best friend, and I'm guessing it would make sense if like Leon and Sonia here started their journey on the same day, you know, and they were rivals. I think that would be pretty cool. Calling back to that. And Leon's the one that became champion. She's the one that she didn't quite become champion, but we learned from it. So yeah, those right there are the characters. Real quick, there's a few. Not going to show us that, but there's some. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see too. So right here, we got some stuff about like different areas in the game. There's this area that, if you remember from the Galar region map, takes up like a big chunk of the center of the entire map. And it turns out this is actually the wild area. So this is an area where you can go to and just go around catching Pokemon. So you see some pictures here of the trainer just walking through the grass. Here's a trainer riding on what looks like a water bike here. And up here we've got a Milotic coming towards us. We got a Mantike and whatever that is back there. Maybe another Mantike. Maybe a Mantine. But yeah, we got overworld Pokemon again, which I really do like that, you know. Here we got a Seismitoad and a Tyranitar, so that's pretty cool. Tyranitar wandering around in the overworld. That's actually really cool, but basically, what Pokemon you see in the wild area will change depending on the weather. So if it's raining, you've got Seismitoads. If there's like a sandstorm going through the area, you got Tyranitar. But yeah, this is actually really cool. I really like this. We got over here some more pictures, but yeah, basically the same thing. We got a wild Corviknight here. I'll probably catch that guy right there. I really like Corviknight. And this is actually really cool. I love how this looks, you know. This is basically giving me some Zelda Breath of the Wild vibes, where it's just you wander around, just do whatever you want. Of course, it might just be in this little area where it's got this camera, because that's a big thing they pointed out. when the trainer was in this area was the camera is free roaming. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a lot of fun. I feel like this is where your shiny hunters are going to go throughout most of their gameplay. You're going to see them go to the wild area and find different Pokemon from different areas. So, what do you think about Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield? Which one are you going to get? Right now, looking at the legendaries, I'm going to say I might get Shield. I know Jessie really wants Sword because she likes the Sword Pupper. But yeah, anyway, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section. Which of these two Pokemon do you like? Which Pokemon out of all of them that were introduced today do you like? Which version are you getting? Leave a like if you like this, and I will see you in the next Pokemon video.